$305,000, plus up to 12% more if he meets his goals. Board member Scott Balderman.
Week Mayor Jenny Hart said it would put too much of a burden on small businesses.
And I think it would lead to a corporatization of Fort Collins. We would lose those businesses or they would move. And we would have the chains. And I don't think that's the Fort Collins we want to live in.
Supporters argued the plan was necessary to keep up with the state's rising cost of living. Colorado allows cities to set their own minimum wage higher than the state's, but Denver is the only city that has done so. I'm Matt Bloom, CPR News.
The new state law makes it easier to put solar panels on Colorado farmland. CPR's Joe Wirtz reports that's a lot of land.
And a growing body of research suggests
support for CPR comes from Comcast Business, committed to helping businesses stay connected with the Comcast Business Complete Connectivity Solution. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. CPR is proud to support Viva Streets, Denver Ciclovia.
The moving and mysterious story of the Fair Sea Train in the next installment of Colorado Wonders, Monday, our morning edition, and all things considered from CPR News. This is Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Martinez in Culver City, California.
And I'm Layla Fulton in Washington, D.C. Leaders from across the Arab world are meeting in Saudi Arabia, and someone who hasn't been in the room for more than a decade is making a reappearance. Syria's President Bashar al-Assad is officially ending years of isolation by the region's power over a civil war that has killed about 500,000 people. Washington has condemned the kingdom's normalization of ties with Assad. The invitation is seen as another sign of the strained relationship between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. Also, there's a surprise visitor today. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Jeddah, where the summit is taking place, and that's also where NPR's Aya Batrawi is right now, and she joins me now. Good morning.
Good morning, Layla.
So, Aya, we'll get to Zelensky's surprise visit in a moment, but I want to start with Bashar al-Assad's reappearance at the summit. Quite significant. He was something of a pariah in the region over his crackdown on the opposition to his rule, the torturing prisons, the hundreds of thousands who've been killed in the civil war, and now he's just welcomed back.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, yes. There were important countries like Egypt and the United Arab Emirates that had already been building ties with Syria for years, but the big shift really happened after February's earthquakes that hit Turkey and parts of Syria. It gave Saudi Arabia.
So this war started in protests against Assad's rule. They were violently repressed. That led to a civil war. Saudi Arabia backed the rebels trying to topple Assad. So does the Saudi invitation to Assad mean somehow that Assad has officially won?
Well, he oversees an economy that's in tatters. U.S. sanctions are also an obstacle to how far countries can go in normalizing with him. And there are still parts of the country that are not under his control. But Russia and Iran rushed to his aid, and he wasn't toppled in the end. And now Syria's civil war is at a stalemate. Millions of Syrian refugees are looking to go back home, but the country needs to be rebuilt, and Arab states want a piece of that. And they're hoping Syria can reorient itself back into the Arab fold and sort of move away from Iran, which still has a big footprint there.
Okay, so we obviously do need to discuss this visit from Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. What do you make of his appearance this morning?
I mean, it is an unusual one because he's from Ukraine and this is a summit of Arab leaders. But for Zelensky, this is a chance to lay out his country's demands that Russia returns.
Flu, COVID, measles. This is a vaccine that pregnant people would get not to protect themselves against RSV, but to protect their newborn babies. Here's how it works. The pregnant person gets the vaccine when they're 4 to 6 months pregnant to stimulate their immune systems to produce antibodies against RSV. Those antibodies then make their way to the fetus in their womb to protect them for at least the first 6 months after birth.
Oh, wow. So how effective and how safe is it?
A big study conducted by Pfizer, which developed the vaccine, found that the shot was almost 82% effective at protecting newborns against severe RSV through their first 3 months of life, and 69% effective at protecting them against severe disease in their first 6 months. And you know, Layla, the question of safety is obviously a big deal and was the focus of a lot of discussion yesterday when the FDA convened an all-day meeting of the agency's outside advisors to review the vaccine. One concern